Hey guys, it's X, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I wanted to try my hand at commentating something other than StarCraft, which I didn't really keep up with when I was commentating it a few months back on my channel. And League of Legends doesn't really have a whole lot of commentary going on right now, and I kind of wanted to fill that niche. And I have with me alongside Moletrap, the GSL caster. Say hi, Moletrap.
Hello, everybody. This is Moletrap, and I'm kind of in the same boat, actually. I've been casting StarCraft for a long time, and I want to get into League of Legends casting, so perfect that we're both trying it out here.
I wouldn't say we're in the same boat. You've been doing actual casting for a lot longer time than I have, but the point of this is just a
Okay,
little bit of an experiment to see if this goes well.
we're in the same boat. I just, I'm maybe at the helm, and you're kind of working one of the sails.
Yeah, actually, that's probably pretty good. But it's my boat. So it's
Thanks for letting me drive.
yeah, no problem. It's like I bought this thing, but I can't drive it, so I can work this sail. I can work the rudder. So that's basically what we're doing right now. We got 10 random players who were in my stream. We invited them over to Twitter, and these people are going to be playing against each other for your enjoyment. It's kind of like the Colosseum days. It's like
Exactly.
we're gonna throw lions at them. Everyone, take off your shirts and sit naked in the stands with your goblet of wine, and just watch these people kill each other for your enjoyment.
Reminds me of when I was a little kid when I would make an arena of mud, and I would put two bugs in it and tell them to fight each other.
You are a sick man, Moletrap.
It was pretty sick.
You're a sick
In this
individual.
case,
Actually, I did stuff like that before too. I won't,
of course.
I won't go into that story because it still makes me sad to tell it, like to hear it. Anyway, this was draft pick, so
Well, the
just so you
bugs
guys
didn't
know,
get hurt.
the bugs didn't get hurt.
No. I told them to fight, but they just, dug into the dirt or something like that. It wasn't too big of a deal.
Okay,
Anyway,
so off we go. Go ahead.
off we go indeed. Yes, indeed, we're going to have the blue team is going to be spawning down here in the bottom left. And Garen M is going to be playing Trundle, who's going to be jungling this time. It looks like Nidalee's going to be played by Dr. House. She is probably going to be ending up going top. And Pure Aim is going to be playing Tarek. He's probably going to be heading bottom later on as well, along with Corki, who's going to be their AD carry, and Vigar is going to be mid for them. And, of course, they are all just grouping up around blue right now. They're not going to their eventual locations because they want to protect in case the enemy team jungles, invades their jungle. And over here on the other side of the map, the purple team, Evil Russian Bear, is in fact playing a bear.
That's true. That's awesome.
And he's going to be jungling for their team. Wukong looks like he was gearing up to go top. Rise, played by Undead One, is going to be in the middle here. Wukong being played by PJ10, by the way. And then, of course, the bottom lane is going to be Graves, being played by Gimli32, and Nasus, being played by Boltyhead.
Okay, that's a little awkward to me. I'm used to seeing Nasus going up top. It looks like neither team is deciding to go for an invade, although it looks like Pure Aim and Chartles over here are looking like they're trying to prevent an invade, or probably contemplating doing one themselves by themselves, but they're going to run into a lot of opposition if they decide to do that.
Yep.
So we see
But
Wukong
everyone's
up
just kind
top.
of heading off to their own lanes right now.
Yeah, now everything.
They're like, well, if an invaded would have going to happen, it would have happened already. So let's just get started with our jungling, what have you.
They may be thinking that, but a lot of times the invade happens around the 1 minute 50 mark. 1 minute
That's
50,
true,
1
right
minute
before the
55.
blue buff spawns.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it looks like neither team is actually set up to do an invade right now. Wukong's just watching his own tri-bush up at the top to make sure nobody's coming to attack him or try and gank him in the early game. Gimli now getting ready to, what is this, leash? Yeah, leash for Evil Russian Bear. So he can get the blue buff. Everything's starting off pretty standard, pretty normal, pretty safe.
Yeah, and they're giving their jungle a lot of help here, by the way, which is, they give Trundle some help over there as well. He did get the wolves, in fact, so that's actually a really good thing to do. If you can give your jungle a lot of help at the beginning and get their jungle started off to a good start, then that means they have more hit points coming out of their blue buff, and that means they're going to be able to gank earlier, so it's a really cool thing to do, and they're complaining about the FPS right now. Apparently Rise is on a not top-line computer.
He needs a new toaster to play on. I think that's the joke that they're making right now in
Yeah.
chat. Something that happens really important in this early game. For those of you who aren't familiar, we've got 3 lanes. We've got the top lane, the middle lane, and the bottom lane. I won't go too much into it, but right now it's a struggle for power between each of these lanes to see who can actually get small minor victories to eventually, in the end, give their team a lead. The middle lane is one of the most important ones where we see Vigar and Rise each trying to compete. Rise is pulling back to his turret, which is a good safe move. Vigor's actually actively pushing his lane, which is going to push Rise up back against his turret here, and Rise will be able to attack from the safety of the turret, and Vigor won't be able to actually harass him. And that's kind of what you want to do in general, especially when you have a jungle character, like we see Evil Russian Bear here, moving around trying to get his red buff eventually. And once he has that, he's going to have a slow. And that's going to make it easier for him to move in against somebody like Vigor, who's pushed up. And he'll have he'll have more room to work as Vigor attempts to run back to his turret, which is this far away. And with the slow provided by this red buff, with Evil Russian Bear is picking up right now, he'll actually be able to pick off someone like Vigor if Vigor doesn't have to use his flash. And even getting someone to use their flash.
Yeah, and speaking of which, down at the bottom, Trundle already has his red buff and the blue buff, and he's going in for a gank here. They're piling up on Nasus. The summoner heal goes off, but it's not enough. And a self-heal from Pyram keeps him alive through the damage and the ignite. A successful gank for the blue team gets first blood.
And this is the type of small advantage that I'm talking about right here. What I was talking about Volibear doing is actually what Trundle just did in the bottom lane. So yes, that was actually a good catch. And it looks like in the middle lane, even Russian Bear is looking to do it now. Rise pops his ghost and actually stuns.
Nice.
He puts a hold on Vigor. Vigor's trying to move back. There's another stun being put out by Vigor, this time to try and hold off the enemy. Vigor actually does get away, but even though the slow from the red buff is actually preventing him from getting to the turret as quick as he would like to. Wukong,
yeah, very nicely done.
Wukong up here at the top having an easy time pushing his lane. The jungles haven't made their way to the top lane yet, either one of them. So it's really just a battle of wits up here. Wukong takes a heavy hit from the spear.
She's like, I know you're in that bush. I'm going to chuck a spear that way.
Literally does have a trap that lets her see him too.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Vygar got out of that, by the way, because he was just in a lot of trouble. There was the hold from Rise, made it hard for him to get away, and then right when it looked like he was about to get away, Volibear flipped him over his shoulder, similar to what Singe does if you're not familiar with the new player. But he got out of it, and so, yeah, Vygar is still low on health, so now he's playing closer to his turret so that he can actually be a little bit safer.
Rise is backing out now because his minions are pushed up against the enemy turret, and even though he does have a bit of an advantage against Vigor, who has lower health, Rise notices that his lane is pushed and he can't do a whole lot. He doesn't want to wander too far out into the middle lane because he doesn't want to risk a gank from the enemy. Oh no!
Oh, that's
terrible.
why he wasn't doing anything. He disconnected. Oh no!
This could be horrible.
Oh, this is bad. This doesn't often happen in tournament games, but
actually, this gives the blue team a massive advantage right now. This is one of those advantages that I was talking about. Yeah. You want to try and get your opponent so angry that they just disconnect, which is what I'm doing. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't. He didn't do that. That was obviously.
It was not out of anger.
It was obviously an connection issue.
We saw the Volibear here. He actually took the raise of Trundle. Trundle just went to his raise to kill him and was like, hey, where'd they go? But that means Volibear is actually going to have to cover mid now.
I know,
and, that's going to leave him wide open at the bottom. Trundle's coming in for another gank. And there he goes. He puts down the speed upgrade for himself in that area of effect. Goes for it. Oh! And he flashes right over that pillar, which would have stopped Graves from getting away. And it looks like they're going to be safe on turret now, despite a lot of damage being pumped out on them. They are going to survive that. And luckily our Rise has reconnected, so we'll see him back in mid lane.
Did Trundle have red buff during that? Because that might have changed it.
Yes,
he doesn't have it now.
He did have it at the beginning of that battle, I believe, at least as he was going in. He ran out somewhere in the middle of it.
That's what I thought. We see Vigor over here trying to get last hits with his, if I'm not mistaken, his Q ability increases his ability power whenever he gets a last hit on a minion with it.
Yes,
so
indeed.
The more of those last hits he gets with that little comet, not the little comet, but that little spark that he throws out, the stronger he ends up being in the late game. Yeah. And it also gives him more gold overall. Now you'll notice at the top of my screen, we can see gold values up here, 7.8k and 7.0k. That almost directly relates to how much power the team has as a whole, because the more gold you have... Oh, here comes another attack down the bottom lane. Graves throwing out a smoke bomb.
Oh, and Nasus is getting low on health, though. He's actually about to go down. And I'll bet if that Corki was level 6, then Nasus would have died because a couple of his ultimate bombs would have finished off the job, so he's going to have to back. So despite not having any sustain down here, they are holding their own. And, you know, if they back one at a time, then they're kind of trading off solo experience, so it can be okay as far as the experience goes, but every time Graves has to back, it means that their AD carry is going to be less powerful in the late game because he's not getting experience and not getting gold from killing those minions. So
that's true, and Nasus is not your typical support character. He doesn't have the heals and the mana regen that somebody like Graves would want.
Yes, indeed. Now Rise has rejoined the middle of the field. And he's a level behind here, so he's got to be a little bit careful. But luckily he's only one level behind. That could have been a lot worse, actually.
There was a ping from the purple team over here where Trundle actually is right now. But there's... Well, okay, but there was a ward right there. Okay, that explains it. There was actually a ward where Trundle was, so they were pinging to let him know. And that's why Vigor backed off and is hanging by his turret right now.
And we do see Volibear heading towards mid. He just passed by a ward in the middle of the river, so Vigar is not going to get out there too far. And he's going to try and invade again, is what he's doing. Try and steal those raids again. Trundle appears to have not noticed it, though, because he's not going after Volibear.
He's going for another
who is going to
attack.
come around from behind. Oh, as the Trundle gank is coming in, Volibear was trying to gank, so he's going to arrive to the party late. And is he going to be able to do any damage? It looks like Graves may die. He dashes out. The ultimate bomb goes off, but he's able to get out. Barely.
Oh, here comes Russian Bear. Russian Bear throwing Pure Aim back. Pure Aim trying to heal himself, but he dies in the end, taking another kill.
Oh, wow. And is he going to get two?
Oh,
the Ignite
no!
on
Ignite.
Trundle kills him off. And Volibear coming in from behind that battle turns things around and turns it from a gank into a double reverse gank, and that ties up the game in terms of the kill counts.
Yeah, that was 2 for 1 down there for the purple team. So Evil Russian Bear being in the right place at the right time, it would have been a negative situation for them turned into a positive one just for his positioning.
And now Volibear gets to steal the enemy red because the enemy jungle is dead. Very nicely done. Very on top of it there, going ahead and taking that red buff. And he's going to actually leave one of the lizards there, so it will not respawn until Trundle goes over there and figures out and takes that out.
Actually, okay, how much are off the fog ward? There it is. You can see that lizard still remaining there. If you leave that there, okay, Trundle's going to figure it out right now because he's trying to go get his red. And this is exactly what counter jungling is about. He goes and snaps that poor lizard's neck. But yeah, this is exactly what counter jungling is about. Evil Russian Bear goes over there, and he takes the red buff. And if you leave that little lizard, then the red buff won't ever respawn until it dies. The respawn timer doesn't start ticking until every mob in that camp is dead. So that's exactly what counter jungling is about. So now Evil Russian Bear has the red buff, whereas Trundle is not going to be able to get one. NASA's putting a slow on Pure Aim over here.
Sorry about that. Yeah, they saw Tarek going up to ward, and they tried to ping to try and surround him, but I think Russian Bear was didn't realize quite soon enough where he was trying to finish off those small minions at the blue buff camp, and so he didn't go down there, and so they got a little bit of damage on Tarek, but he does get out, and of course Tarek does have a heal, so he's going to be fine. Evil Russian Bear just loves going in there. He keeps going after the enemy raids, enemy jungle, and that's a really, really effective thing to do because it means enemy jungle is going to be lower on levels because they're not, and they're going to be lower on gold. And here he comes in for another gank. In fact, this time it's warded, so they do get out.
They do have vision of it down there, so they did ping him, tell everybody to get back. That's a very important job for the support characters to lay wards down to protect from things like the jungle, who's a very dangerous character. And if he's not dangerous in the way of ganks, he's obviously oh, here comes another engagement down in the bush down here. I see the machine gun going off, trying to.
Wow.
He's running away with his machine gun flying, but that's good. That's fine. That's fine for him. He doesn't care. He's got his guns blazing. The sound of it should be enough to intimidate the opponent away.
And here comes Trundle in from behind, and this might not go well actually because Pure Aim and Chartles don't really have enough hit points to really engage in this battle, so it's just 1v2. And in fact, Nasus and Graves doing a ton of damage to Trundle. He forces them back temporarily, but the purple team still has a little bit of a lead down here at the bottom because Graves is almost full health and full mana and has blue buff, so he can spam his abilities and do lots of damage to the enemy.
I think the reason Volibear wanted to go for it is because Nasus didn't have any mana, so he couldn't use his ultimate, so he couldn't get that extra tankiness. And he might have been able to score a kill there. Plus, Volibear himself is actually quite tanky, and he's got that passive that allows him to regenerate his health so much. So it could have been good. It was a good gamble. It didn't turn out negatively for them, so it was a good risk. It was a good chance.
There's Volibear at the top, by the way. Is Nidalee going to get away from the throw? Throws Nidalee over his shoulder, but she's going to get right back into turret range. It's so hard to catch Nidalee.
Nidalee
is just so mobile.
She's so difficult to gank because that leap of hers when she's in cat form, or there's an attack on Rise. Rise busts his ghost to try and get away. I don't think he needed to. Now he gets caught in the stun. He got caught in the stun, but he broke out of it fairly soon. I don't see if he doesn't have Merc Treads or anything yet.
Almost away. Is he going to be able to get Trundle at the same time? Can he get into the bush? He gets into the bush. Oh, and gets a shot off on Trundle. But Russian Bear is not quite close enough. He's chasing him through the bushes, but any second now we're going to see a stun come out from Vigar. There it is, and that's going to get him away.
Wow, so Trundle actually does survive that entire engagement. I thought Rise was actually going to get away when he popped his ghost and got his stun off, but it doesn't look like that was actually going to be the case. What I was trying to say earlier is that Nidalee is very difficult to gank because that...
Oh, is he going to catch him in the bush?
Yes, he is!
Oh, he does! And for some reason, Trundle stopped being, so he is not gonna be. Well, look, is he gonna get away? Oh,
he
so
barely
close,
had enough mana.
Here comes.
Oh no!
No.
That is good teamwork right there. Wukong saw what was going on and decided to leave his lane for it. Oh, now Nidalee gets caught. But then again, look, there she is again with her flash and that jump of hers that can go over walls, plus her summoner heal.
And
Trundle there to support.
Didn't go back though. He stuck around and he actually may have just donated himself. Is Nidalee gonna get away from the 3 of those? She is fast. If he can jump over into the Baron pit, she's gonna live, and there she goes.
She is so quick. She's very difficult to kill, and she gets an extra movement speed whenever she goes into those bushes as well, which is why you see her keep doing that. On top of the fact that you can't see her if you're not in the bush with her. And she's got her own personal heal. She's got summoner heal. Her little movement abilities don't take any mana, so she's very, very difficult to game, which makes her a very strong top lane and a very great late game support or AP carry character.
Yeah, indeed. And it looks like Nidalee is going for. Well, she's got a Catalyst, actually. It looks like she's going to be going for an AP build of some kind. Probably for a Rod of Ages is what I'm imagining that Catalyst is going to turn into later on. Although we have yet to see.
Maybe.
But, man, that encounter in the bushes, that was... It started off going so well for Blue Team. They were 2v1 on Ryze. They killed Ryze. And then all of a sudden, everything went horribly. And they just kept going in one by one and dying. And that
yeah, exactly. That was it. It was the one by one thing.
5 kills to 3.
It was the one by one thing that got that got them there. You never want to try and trickle in like that. You want to move as a large force. We're still in the laning phase right now. None of the turrets have been taken down. Nidalee is pushing forward though. Another thing about that Catalyst that she bought. Catalyst is an absolutely great item to pick up in the early game because whenever you level while you're carrying it, it gives you an extra boost in health and mana. Not permanent, but it heals you and regenerates it a little bit, so it gives you a lot of sustainability in lane. And if you're busy getting last hits and healing yourself, you're going to be in lane a long time and collecting a whole bunch of gold, and it just helps you get that all the while, which makes you stronger in the later game. So I don't know if the Rod of Ages provides that. Like once you upgrade it from the Catalyst, does the Rod of Ages provide that ability too? It doesn't either. So she might want to wait to actually upgrade that if she does decide to upgrade that into that. It could also turn into something incredibly useful. It could turn into, over here in the top line, we got Moletrap going for Nidalee. He does throw her back. They're actually finally going to get her.
Nice.
And PJ10 is on a rampage up here. I think he got like, what, 2 or 3 kills in the jungle over there? Those were his kills?
Yes, he's the one that finally picked off both Veigar and Nidalee, I believe, in the jungle. So he was able to get 2 kills there. So Wukong doing extremely well in the top lane, and they're going to push that top lane. They actually might get that turret because it's already been softened up by Wukong's pushes before. Trundle's going to come in and try and save it. The turret's almost dead, though. They just need to target it down. The turret goes down. Now they turn on Trundle, and he's going to go down very quickly.
They used everything they had on him. They had the red buffs, though. They had exhaust going. They threw him back, and then he got beat by a monkey with a stick. It just doesn't get worse. That's the worst day you could possibly have. You're exhausted, you're slow and burning, you're on fire. You're being attacked by a bear and a monkey, and the monkey has a stick.
Yeah, just to top it all up, the monkey has a stick.
that's just the...
No, I've had days where I got attacked by... Oh, this is funny. Evil Russian Bear just tried to go counter jungle the wolves again, and he found that the single wolf that he'd left before was still there, so he doesn't have to do any more counter jungling.
Oh, Trundle. Gotta get to
off his game a little bit there.
You've got to get to your jungle. Top. Yeah, that's true. You had to cover top. I like what Ryze is doing. Ryze is level 10. He's only 1 level behind Vigor, even though Ryze is the one that disconnected. He disconnected earlier, and despite the disconnect, Purple Team is ahead with 4 kills. They've got an extra, almost about 2k gold. Trundle coming in to the bottom lane here to try and support poor Tarek, who's all alone. Corky's back at base, slowly making his way back.
He needs to get on that turret now and help out because Tarek was, doing not too good at all. He finally does charge in here, but just not enough hit points on Tarek and no mana on Tarek either, so he can't actually help there. Volibear chilling in the bushes, waiting to maybe go in on there in that battle and help. Nope, he's just going to go ahead and leave, doing some more counter jungling there.
And in the meantime, Vigor took a kill on Ryze. Russian Bear trying to rush in to avenge his teammate, but it's not going to happen. Vigor uses his flash to get away. So Vigor gets a free kill. No retribution from it whatsoever.
Just going to go home and shop there. Purple team still ahead 7 kills to 4, though. I'm surprised neither team has made an attempt at Dragon yet, especially after that romp in the northern jungle when they killed a couple of the blue team. I would have expected them to go for a Dragon at that point, but they've all been too busy with their lanes.
Dragon is so very important for those of you who don't know, because I do have a lot of newer League of Legends players watching the channel. For Evil Russian Bear's going for an attack here. They're getting a gang up here on Purion. Purion flashes away, but he's going to get caught by Nasus' slow.
Oh, is he going to get tossed back?
Corky firing that machine gun. Actually, he does actually get away. He gets out of it. He's got the turret support. I think it was his ult.
Almost goes down to
I think it was the ultimate that did it for him. And over here we have Wukong in a fairly precarious position. No, never mind. They didn't seem to spot him. So he's okay. He was just hanging out in the bush. I wanted to talk a little bit about Dragon. There's a small bit of a lull in the action here as Graves heads back home and nobody else is really engaging. Dragon's very, very important. You want to try and get Dragon as much as possible because you see how blue team has 4 kills to purple team 7. You can see that over at the top. Actually, purple team is pinging over here with Russian Bear's trying to give Rise blue buff. Okay, that's actually very smart for him to do as well. But you want to pick up Dragon because Dragon gives enough gold to the team as a whole. Everyone on the team gets 190 gold when Dragon dies, and what that equals out to is about 2.5 kills worth of gold to your over the spread of your entire team. So if you keep getting that, that's a way to keep your team in the game. And if you're ahead, it's a way to stay ahead. So it's very important to get it. Nidalee is being attacked over here by Wukong.
And looks like she might just barely get away. If she can dash over it, she flashes over the bush, and Wukong does not have a flash up. He just flashed to try and catch her, so he couldn't actually follow her there. She's going to have to be careful, though. She needs to, well, she's got a little distance. She'll be fine. But, yeah, she's definitely been softened up here. And that's because Wukong, remember, Wukong has a couple kills, so he has a lot better items right now. Brutalizer and a Phage on him. Those are both really good items on Wukong.
I realize that the top turret has been taken down here by the purple team, but I feel kind of bad because I don't know when that happened. Oh yeah, I do. I remember now. I do actually remember when that happened, so I don't feel so bad now. So I'm okay, Moletrap.
It's okay.
No, I mean I'm okay. I feel great. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling just awesome, actually. This is the I'm having a lot of fun.
That was a purple ping on the blue buff over here.
Yep, Volibear's over there. He knows they're going for the blue, and he was thinking about trying to steal it, but Nidalee's there, Vigar's there, everything's there, so he's not going to be able to get in there.
They got a siege tank set up there, he's just not going to get in.
Exactly. Oh! Sorry, I just clicked over to watch Rise eat a spear from Nidalee, and Nidalee has gotten, well, actually no, she doesn't have any other AP right now, but she still did a decent chunk of his health. Yeah,
Nidalee's doing okay. I think overall, even though she lost her turret, I think she's still doing very, very well, especially with all that mobility that she got. She is level 13. Wukong's level 14, but still, she's the second highest level in the game right now. And she's still got a whole lot of damage on that spear of hers. As we can just see, she just pegged Evil Russian Bear, who is a very, very tanky character, and it still took out a good, like, what, 2/3? Well, about 1/3 of his health right there was actually incredible.
Yeah. And Volibear actually went in to attack Trundle, but got more than he bargained for in his first run, but he might actually die here. The combo goes off! And the falling meteor from Vigar finishes him off. Vigar picks up another kill
bottom lane,
for his team.
Bottom lane being dove, but nothing actually happens there. Yeah, Vigar's got that very deadly combo, and as the game goes on, the later and later it gets, the stronger and stronger Vigor gets.
Wukong going in to try and dive that Nidalee. The stun from Vigar helps out, saves them both, and Rise walks into that meteor again, and has to go back now.
Bottom lane still having its own small engagement down here as Nasus tries to hold them off. They've been doing a great job of keeping the blue team off the bottom turret. It hasn't been touched. It's like been barely scathed.
Yeah, well, they've been pressed in so much the entire time. They've been pushing most of the game against that turret, Blue's turret on bottom, and as a result, they've done a lot of damage. Wukong actually is in a really precarious position here in the middle here. And Trundle finds Graves in the jungle. I think Graves is going to be okay, though. He's got 3 levels on that Trundle, but he's got to worry about Nidalee nearby. Oh! That's exactly why.
There goes that stun. A savior stun. Oh, he might actually get a kill here. Oh, no, actually, that was Wukong. Well, yeah, he almost got Wukong.
Yeah, Wukong had to get out of there, but he did hit the clone instead of the real one. But now they've killed one there, and they're forcing him back. Everyone at low health on the blue team here, Nidalee and Vigar and Trundle.
Seeing that spear hit is always one of those, it kind of makes you flinch. Because I hate being hit by that spear when I'm playing. I freaking hate that spear.
Yeah.
She's the reason I got so good at dodging skill shots. Down at the bottom lane, we've got Nasus pushing against Corky, trying to slow him down. He busted his ultimate and everything. Corky's got no mana, but still manages to get away. Volibear's wandering back into his jungle to begin farming up a little bit more gold. Still, nobody's made a play for Dragon. Both teams have it warded, and nobody has made a play for it.
Yeah, it's very, very strange, to be honest. Although, no one's really gotten more than 1 kill at a time. No one's been in a really dominant position where they felt truly comfortable going for it. Now we're seeing some pings from Purple to go for Dragon. Finally, And see, this is the thing. I'm really surprised Purple especially didn't go for it all game because they've had Blue pushed up against their tower the whole time. And when that's the case, they can't come defend Dragon because they have to protect their tower. But they are going to come in here.
This is going to be important.
The entire purple team is here to protect this Dragon effort, and Blue is just not going to be able to converge in time.
And the gold values for both teams are actually almost perfectly even at that point, and so Purple actually gets to keep their lead. They had a slight lead. Purple gets to keep their lead because of that Dragon steal, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. It wasn't really a steal, but that Dragon takedown, which is exactly what I've been talking about. And now you've got the entire Purple team ganging up on this very weak bottom turret over here, with Nidalee
it's
hanging.
very weak, and it's 5v4.
Yeah, Nidalee's hanging out in the middle. Here comes the attack.
Wukong dives in, knocks everyone up. One goes down. Trundle manages to escape for the moment. Are they going to dive it, though? Corki takes a huge combo of hits and goes down to Volibear, diving on top of him. Trundle's going to go down as well. Volibear sitting there doing lots of damage while Wukong takes the turret hit.
Nidalee takes a snipe with her spear while Wukong was tanking the turret that entire time. They do manage to take down the turret. It was worth it. Very much worth it. They do take out the entirety of the blue team.
And that's an ace. That is an ace. They got the tower as well, and it looks like Volibear is going to continue pushing the bottom turret and push that up while Rise is not feeling comfortable, I guess, despite having... Well, Tark just came back up. He died early on, so...
So let's recap that last few moments there. Purple team sniped off Dragon. Well, they got Dragon. They pushed down. They took the turret. They aced the enemy team, and they only lost 3 champions to do it. So they've just vastly increased their lead by about 2,000 gold. Again, the spread is about 2,000 gold, even though at some point both teams did manage to even it out. So let's see if that can happen again. That was actually pretty interesting, the way this has all been playing out so far.
Yeah, and that could have gone a lot worse, too, for the blue team, because there was a point there where it looked like Purple team was going to get an ace in a tower for only 1 or 2 champions. And if they'd gotten out with only 1 champion dead, then they could have done a lot more damage, taken another tower or 2 very easily. So only a almost 2,500 gold difference here, but might be 300 more in a second. Vigar's in trouble.
Oh! Wow, I'm surprised they didn't get that kill there. Well, actually no, because Vigar's stun is actually very, very useful. He managed to catch both players in the exact right position to hold them off. And even though Rise got his stun off, he wasn't able to get his combo on.
Yeah.
So now... You know, League of Legends is one of those games where your lead tends to snowball. As long as you keep playing while Nasus is coming down here to attack Corki. He's got his slow off. Corki tried to use his little jump to get away. Oh, Corki's not going to be able to deal the damage to take out Bolty Hit here. Nasus is... Oh, maybe he is. He's actually doing fairly well. Bolty Hit does have a whole lot of health, but he pops his ultimate and he's incredibly tanky. He's still got that slow going. Trundle's coming to try and assist. So is Tarek. Tarek gets there a little too late. Isn't able to get his heal off. So Nasus is going to pay for this kill. So Nasus does actually end up dying, so it's 1 for 1 there. It's an even trade. I was saying, League of Legends is a game where your lead tends to snowball. What you have to do when you're down is try and find ways to lessen your opponent's lead and get one yourself. So I wonder what blue team can do at this point to try and do that. Usually you get Baron or Dragon to try and do that, but with these 2 turrets down for their team, I'm not sure what they can do to actually push. Nidalee's checking for blue and doesn't find it.
Yeah, they're going to have to, well, I mean, they're not too far behind. 2,500 gold is not insurmountable. Actually, it's only about 2,000 gold, just over. It
is about 2,000 gold, and that's important to note because Purple Team has their entire Tier 1 turrets. They still have... So that's incredible right there, actually. Still having all those turrets and only a 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the important parts as well. That means that the hold that thought. Wukong going for Nidalee here in the middle, and Nidalee just doesn't quite have the mobility to pull it off. That Phage has been turned into a frozen mallet, which means that every hit that Wukong takes slows his opponent, which means that Nidalee could not get away that final bit.
It is a great counter to her. It really is, because she gains all that movement, speed whenever she goes to the bushes, but all that is negated when there are no bushes, like she was running away from middle lane, and even her dash is negated by the slow effect of the frozen mallet. It's better than a permanent red buff. It really is.
Yeah, it's a really, really strong thing, especially on a melee character like Wukong that likes to get in close, and if he's got an advantage, wants to stay close.
And Wukong has that gap closer too.
Yeah.
Very important on a character as a gap closer.
Purple team has pinged the middle turret. They want to finish off the mess with our turrets, but the stun goes off on Nasus, and the whole combo from the entire team pings him down very quickly, but Purple team has drawn them off of turret, And Volibear barely gets away. The ultimate from Garen coming in doing so much damage. Cleans up almost the entire team. Wukong with the Ignite on him does finally go down, but they're going to dive. Oh, they dive that Vigar, and it looks like they might get this turret as a result. Nidalee, can she hold off the three of them? I don't think she can.
That was fantastic timing on the purple team's part. Nidalee was gone. They dove in as Nidalee was trying to approach, and also down the bottom lane, which I was noticing on the minimap, the minions were pushing the bottom turret as well. So there was a two-pronged push going on, a 5v4 in middle. It was absolutely just great timing. I don't know if it. Oh, Rise takes a serious hit from that spear. You can't be. You can't be around Nidalee like that. You can't. You almost died to that. You got to be careful. You said earlier that Garen's ultimate went off. I just want to clarify for the people watching. It's actually it's actually Corki. The player's name is Garen M. So yeah, it's kind of confusing. Garen is another League of Legends champion. So a player named Garen is playing.
I was actually trying to say
Corki.
Graves.
Oh, you were trying to say Graves. Fantastic. There's Graves up there, just so you guys know.
Yeah,
so never mind all that.
Graves' ultimate just does a huge burst of damage, and so a lot of the blue team still had half their hit points left, and he just fired his massive bullet in there, and it just took all of them from half hit points to a third hit points, and that was enough for the rest of the team to finish them off.
Graves seems to be afraid of Nidalee here. I don't blame him, but they saw her, they pinged her, and he begins to back off. I don't know if Graves could actually take Nidalee right now. It would be a bad move, because if he can't, she just gets away, and... Oh, sorry, if he can, she just gets away, and if he can't, then he dies. So yeah, it's a good idea to move.
Well,
purple
he's got...
dragon.
He's got... Oh yeah, they're going for the dragon again. They knew it was going to be coming up. They actually timed it there. Trundle's going to come in here to try and contest. He puts down the pillar, but it's too late. They get it just in time. He's going to try and snipe it with his smite. But what I was going to say is Nidalee has gone for ability power. She's gone for Rod of Ages, and she's gone for a needlessly large rod, which gives her AP as well. So that means the only thing that Nidalee has is her spear. Nothing else of hers does damage.
Looks like we have a potential engagement going on here. I don't know what the cooldown is on her spear, but it seems to be fairly low, and it does a ton of damage. Yeah, it's fairly low. It does a ton of damage at long range. So she's going for like a ranged carry kind of stance here. Rise gets a good combo off on Chartles over here on Corki. And all the poke, that's called poking, really. All the poking that you can do at the enemy team before the actual engagement starts, the more you can get off, the better, because that makes the enemy champions so much weaker for the actual engagement, and you can focus people down. But
yeah.
there actually isn't going to be an actual engagement here, I guess. Both teams a little wary of the others.
Well, there was no reason for the purple team to fight there, because the tower is already gone, so there's not the tower as an objective to try and go for. And unless you're fighting over something, there's not a reason to fight. Now, if blue team tries to push that tower, then they'll want to fight, but then in that case, they wouldn't want to fight in the open. They'd want to fight back on their tower regardless. And oh, it looks like they caught Nidalee, and oh, the slow from Volibear, the exhaust coming down, and the slow from Nasus, but she is maybe going to get away with the two teammates there to back her up.
At the same time, in bottom lane, we've got Graves and Rise chasing after Corki, who almost died. At the same time that fight with Nidalee was going on, they almost got Corki down here, and they're chasing after... Oh, blue team now converging here on Undead One. Oh, this is not going to last very long. Rise... I believe I read at one point, Riot was saying that they wanted Rise to be the caster version of Ashe, and so he is very, very easy to kill if you catch him off guard. He needs a lot of positioning. We've got an engagement going on over here. Oh, there goes Vigor's ult going off, an awful lot of damage going out all over the place, going out overall, though.
Wow, yeah, it looked like basically we had, you know, one of the blue team go in there, and no one else followed, so it was a 4v4, but then it ended up being 4v1 and then 4v2. And
like
the 4 was the team of purple.
I think Vigor got a big AoE hit off on the majority of the purple team, and the purple team just not taking a whole lot of damage. So
yeah,
that's kind of discouraging when your AP carry isn't doing a whole lot of damage AoE to the enemy team. It's just kind of scary, a little bit discouraging, I guess.
Yeah, well, they didn't have anyone there that did like a ton of. They didn't have their AD carry there because Corki had just gone home, so they didn't have anyone that could output lots of damage consistently. And look at how fast the bottom tower goes down. To this Graves. Graves has an Infinity Edge and a couple Doran's Blades on him, so he's not super stacked, but he does a ton of damage.
Now, it looks like the blue team is in a very bad spot right here. Like I said, the advantage tends to snowball once you get it. So now it's up to the blue team to find ways to head off that advantage that the purple team has and find ways to pick up one of their own, like maybe picking up the Baron buff, playing defense, pulling back from the turrets that you have, making sure to only engage on turrets that you have, forcing the opponent to come to you, and making sure, especially to ward the map, there aren't a whole lot of wards out right now, so that you always know what's going on. So blue team can start picking up their slack by doing a lot of this stuff, and I've seen greater comebacks than this. They're not out of the game by any stretch, although it may appear at first glance that the purple team is pushing their advantage pretty hard.
Yeah, yes, indeed. I mean, that's what they have to start focusing on right now is thinking about how can they get back into this, how can they kind of come back and reduce the advantage. 6,000 gold. Actually, it's been reduced to a little less than 6,000 gold advantage for the purple team, and you know, you have to look at who that gold is on as well. That's another thing. And Graves has a lot of kills. Wukong has a lot of kills, and he just bought an Atma's Impaler just as I was looking at his stats right now, actually. So he's going to be outputting a lot more damage now, actually. So yeah, and all the kills on the blue team are kind of spread out a little bit more. So Vigar is going to be able to do some damage, but not as much as he could have. And same goes for Corki. He only has 3 kills. So his items are a little bit less than Graves at this point.
I like that combination of Atma's Impaler and... No, a lot of people like to pair Atma's Impaler and think it's only good when paired with a Warmog, but that's not necessarily true. If you're a champion that's got a natural large health pool like Wukong, it's a great item, and also he's got the Frozen Mallet, which gives a lot of health as well. So I really love the combination of Frozen Mallet and Atma's. I think I like that even more than Atma's and Warmogs, because Warmogs is so expensive to get, and it doesn't give you any attack damage. So I really think I like that combination better. So I love seeing that Wukong is actually going for that here.
I actually like to throw in the Sunfire Cape at the same time, because then you get armor, and the extra health from the Sunfire gives you even more damage from the Impaler. So yeah, it's a really good combo that, you're right, is definitely underused.
Depends. I'll either do, for my defensive item, I'll either do Sunfire or Banshee's Veil, which also gives health. And that one's magic. It just depends on the enemy that you're facing.
And blue team, by the way, looks like they want to try and shut down part of the lead. They know that Volibear has gone back because they can only see 4 people in front of them. They're trying to push this tower.
Oh, nice poke.
But they don't have minions with them right now. They're just trying to poke those people down, poke the purple players down. Let's try saying that 5 times fast.
I don't think so.
Poke the purple players.
Oh, okay, actually that hit did a lot of damage to Bolty Head there. To Nasus, even though he's a very tanky character. Alright, so now we've got Evil Russian Bear sneaking around the side. Nope, he's gonna go. Oh, Rise takes another solid spear.
Huge spear.
Now they need to engage. This is their time. They need to engage with this next minion push. They need to take down this turret. They need to get a couple kills and take down this turret to try and close that gap in the gold values. They need to try and get an advantage of their own. Evil Russian Bear's out of position as well too. One player already went back.
Rise is out of it. Nasus, almost ate that spear. He would have been dead or having to go back. Look, yeah, Nasus doesn't feel comfortable either. He's going back, and we need to have Corki there outputting damage right now. Wukong dives in and ults on everyone, tries to get back out, but the blue team dives on him, gets a kill. Trading kills though, and are they going to be able to finish things off? No, Corki goes down. Oh, Trundle's going to go down as well, and purple team actually turns it around. The gold advantage was just too much, and they were too powerful. And with the help of their turret being nearby, we're able to push that back and actually get the kill advantage out of that situation, even without Rise there.
Yeah, that was pretty much as ideal a situation as they're going to get, except for 5v0. That was they had a cannon minion come. Blue team had a cannon minion coming in, and now the purple team is still pressing their lead here. Rise taking some more damage. Dr. House is just so good with that Nidalee Spear at pegging Rise. You want to pick off those soft champions. You don't want to hit somebody with a lot of HP like Wukong or Nasus.
Yeah, hitting Volibear with that spear is going to do virtually nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just so good at actually threading that needle and hitting Rise with it. But that was as ideal a situation they're going to get in the middle lane. They had to try to push that when they did. They had a cannon minion with them, and they had a wave of their own minions, but somehow the purple team still manages to push forward and devastate them. Oh, that was a fairly well-timed spear that Nidalee threw out there too. If possible, the dragon might have been at low health, and she might have been able to steal the dragon, letting the purple team do all the work. It's stuff like that that they've got to do to try and get back in this game. So it's good to see them doing that, but it's just not working out for them.
Yeah, I mean, but as it stands right now, purple team has only lost 1 tower at the top, and that is it. And it's not just the gold value for having those towers, but it's the tactical advantage too. It means that at mid-map, purple team has a tower to fall back to, whereas the blue team does not. And actually, blue team's down to their inhibitor tower on the bottom lane as well. So if they go out of their base at all, they're in a lot more precarious position than the purple team is. They're going to have to make sure they stick together, because they're not going to be safe if they start roaming around.
No, that's definitely true. I think they could probably do with Corki picking up a Modred's Bloodraiser, actually. Or maybe even Trundle picking up a Modred's Bloodraiser. Does Trundle have one? No, he does not. Just to pick off people like Volibear. Well, basically everyone on the enemy team. You got Volibear, Wukong, and Nasus, who would all take a heavy hit from someone using Madrid's Blood Razor. An item swap from any of the AD champions on the blue team would turn some of these fights in their favor, give them a little bit more of an advantage.
Purple team hiding in the back has come out of blue team's jungle and tries to ambush them from behind in the middle of their own lane. Wow, Corky goes down immediately. He was the main damage dealer of their team. Turret goes down as well, no more healing, and it looks like running for his dear life is Vigar. A flash and a couple more shots is gonna polish him off. And there goes the blue team, and now purple team pinging Baron. They know they're up 5 people to only 2 alive right now, I believe. And so there's no way the blue team can contest this Baron.
Trundle and Italy, they know what's going on, but there's nothing they can do. The best they can hope for is to try and snipe it, but it's not going to happen. Trundle tries to. He rushes in with his ghost and tries to get the smite off. Again, a valiant attempt, but just not going to cut it for him.
Yeah, Rise did take another spear though, so he has to be. He cannot help in his effort to go down the middle here. And actually, they're just diving straight on top of that tower. Nasus is like, I don't give a crap what's going on. You two can handle Nidalee. I'm just going to take this tower single-handedly. And that is what he's doing. Can Nidalee get to the edge and hop over? No, she cannot. Nasus just sitting there eating turret fire. Doesn't give a crap. And they finish off the turret in middle.
Man, Nasus really didn't care about that turret damage. He's got so much health, so much armor, so much tankiness. It's pretty much over. We can't... He's got over 100 armor and over 3,000 health, so yeah, he just is so tanky. And I mean, at the very least, blue team, you know, they're trying to play intelligently. They're trying to go for the squishy characters. They're targeting Rise. They're not spending all their time, you know, wasting their time attacking Volibear or anything like that. And so they're trying to be smart about it, but they're just so outgolded right now by over 10,000 gold that the items they have are not nearly as good as the items purple team has. Yeah, and the items I think also they aren't the correct items against the purple team's composition. I think you really need to have a Madrid's Blood Razor out there somewhere, and combined with oh, look at that middle turret there. It's got so little health that Rise has been defending. If they can get that and get that extra little bit of gold, maybe they can eke their way back into this game. They really need to play defensively right now, which is what they're trying to do. They need to get some wards out in the map. They've got one. Well, actually, no, they do. They've got plenty of sight over there by Baron, but they need some more in their lower jungle.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Purple isn't pushing this more. When you have Baron, you usually want to take advantage of it. Baron buff gives you extra damage and extra, you know, regeneration. So you usually want to kind of make use of the fact that you have Baron buff while you have it and make a push.
Which is exactly what's going to happen right now. I hear that a lot. I hear people saying they're wasting their Baron buff, but Baron buff lasts quite a while. They can take their time to buy items, get set up, take their jungle. Oh, they know where they're at. Oh, another attack. That's kind of something that's happening. I've also seen teams get really cocky when they get their when they get Baron buff. Wow. Poor Rise taking another spear.
Yeah, Nidalee has a death cap now and an additional blasting one. She does 2/3 of Rise's health per shot on those spears. And blue team, this might be what they need. They catch the purple team off guard and separate it. They're going to polish off Nasus, but at what cost? Focusing the tank enables Graves to get a hit on Corky. And now they're going to try and chase him here, but they can't.
They need, blue team needs to turn around and fight. Blue team needs to turn around and fight. They don't have a tank anymore. Oh, Evil Russian Bear's coming in at just the right angle, though. Ah, man, Rise almost died. Had just enough health to survive that heavy hit.
If they had got Rise, that would have been a good opportunity for them to kill off the rest of the team. But instead, purple team has enough going on that they can push this. And they're not going to take this tower, but it means that they're going to be pressed everywhere because now minions are pushing the top tower as well, forcing Trundle to go back over there. And never mind, actually Rise is back. They are going to take the middle tower.
Rise teleports in. Ah, Rise taking half his health at that spear again. But this just shows the purple team did have Baron buff right there, and still the blue team, with correct positioning, was able to take out their tank, was able to do... Positioning is a very, very powerful aspect of this game. If they can just get 2 or 3 fights where they've got good positioning and the enemy team does not have Baron, they can still possibly take out a few more turrets.
Oh, is Graves finally going to die?
Here comes Trundle!
Goes in and...
Graves! Oh,
he
finally!
Does go down. And purple team was stuck kind of inside turret there, end up losing 2 players as a result. And they're going to go ahead and get out. That means that only Rise and Wukong have the Baron buff left, I believe. Yeah, Nasus just came back up. He died early on in that. So they actually lost 3 players in that whole debacle. But they got an inhibitor out of it. So purple team is definitely still in really good shape.
Blue team is reeling. They're on the back foot. Oh, there's a bunch of
And
GGs
in
being played out
fact,
right there. I believe
looks
this is
like
going to be
a
a
surrender vote is probably going down.
There it is.
I wonder if it's the spectator mode. We have to wait 3 minutes for the surrender vote or something like
Nope,
that. Nope, there
is.
it goes. So nicely done by the purple team. Congrats indeed to them. They played it really well. And blue team, you know, you got to hand it to them. They didn't play badly. They didn't make a ton of mistakes, but they, you know, they just got caught in a couple bad positions, caught in the enemy jungle and picked off one by one. And blue team was able to, purple was able to snowball their lead.
I think that's where it turned around with that one trickle fight where they went in one by one, because the teams were very even for a long time. And yeah, exactly. I think once purple team was able to get that little bit of a lead, they swung it. They ran with it and were just able to snowball it down. Overall, this was a fun experiment. I liked doing this.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would like to do this again actually. Not today. I've got no, seriously, I've got some stuff to do, but we definitely got to try this again. So, everybody who's watching this video, keep an eye on my Twitter. There's a link to it in the video description. I'll be announcing if I'll be doing more of this later. No guarantees, as always. You guys know me, but I definitely want to because this was a whole lot of fun. I want to do this again in Moletrap. It was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So,
and this actually gets me a little bit.
All right, that was awesome. So, I know you guys couldn't hear Moletrap for that last bit. He said something, but I accidentally lost his audio. Sorry, Moletrap perhaps was recording it. But yeah, I'll let you record a soundbite to put at the end so you can get your little bit of a last word. But yeah, sorry, again, this was a big experiment. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Again, keep an eye on my Twitter. Moletrap's Twitter is also going to be linked down there. So will his YouTube channel, both of them. And some more information about everything that you want to know about him in regards to all that. So again, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.